What's happening, fam? A-League Final Series, playoffs, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is my hot take on what I think from a performance sort of eye or lens, how you should be approaching these next couple of weeks. This, though, however, is more tailored towards, I guess, Auckland FC and Melbourne City, since they've finished top two and they'll go straight to the semi-finals. What I think from the top of my dome and how I see it. Look at it, two things: tactical and physical. These two things that really define what football is, or any sport really is. But tactics dictate our energy expenditure. So these are the two things I'm going to talk about and how they interrelate, because I don't think they're separated at all. If you're using this period, and especially with the top two, they only have 2 weeks between that semi-final. If you're using this to fitness, conditioning, speed, you're out of luck. I stand on that. I stand on business on that. Like, if you haven't got that within the season and this far into the season, you're not going to get it in 2 weeks. So quickly realize what's your big rocks and then go from there. How can we link this tactics, or what in the tactics is going to be sustainable? And I think for me, one thing I want to look at, or one thing I want to try and break down against these top 6 teams, or the team we potentially could play if we were Auckland and Melbourne City, but take the top 6. In those moments of success, whether it's for us or against us, I want to look at the time frame, and I want to look at the physical output of that time frame. How fast was our attack? How fast did we defend? Things like that. How long did these things last? So these are the things I sort of want to look at. But then I also want to look at when we played these teams and we did really well and we found success, were we right dominant? Were we left dominant? Is it sustainable? Player loading, risk versus reward. Because you've got one leg semi-final, your first one, then you go second, successful, you go to the final. Like, how much risk are we willing to take with exploiting one side? And is that a player that you're going to need? These are things I'm thinking about, like, how were we successful? What physical load did we expend within those periods, good or bad? On the top of my list for this final series, and I go player health. How healthy can I get players? How much debt can I repay? All right, let's repay as much debt as possible. Now, you can't pay all your debt back. You can't be back to baseline as if it was pre-season. You're always going to go into a game with some sort of debt. All right, you're always going to have some sort of niggles, but how close to baseline can we get you? And I mentioned this earlier, you don't have to worry about improving conditioning and fitness, because if you don't have this now, you're never going to get it. But so I look at Auckland FC and Melbourne City. There's 12 days? 12 days. 12 days before their game. So for me, I'm thinking, hey, I could get 7 sessions plus a match day -1 before my first semi-final. All right. So what do I need to focus in these? Now, some coaches might have 6 sessions, 8 sessions, 10 sessions. I really don't know. But this is what I'm giving you with what I deem is sort of ideal, or the way I'm thinking. All right. I'm not going to go through the whole schedule. You can have a look at it. But this will be my proposed schedule with little bits and bobs. So, I mean, really, this is how I see it. I thought I'd just put something quickly on in terms of how you'd approach it, what you'd focus on. But yeah, hopefully it gives you a little insight as to how we look at things and what we deem important. Boom!